Good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon.
Good to see you today.
Yes. Good to see you too.
Thank you. I appreciate that. It's nice to start on a positive note, isn't it?
Isn't it nice to start on a positive note?
Feel good.
Yeah.
So, any number of things. We got to clear the decks.
Oh, we do,
Yeah,
we?
we got to clear the decks. First of all, I'm impressed that somehow in Galatians 3, you somehow could work in a story about a three-legged goat from California. Very impressed.
Did you like that?
Right? Just into
It
a
fit
sermon.
right in.
You know, there is grace for all, including a three-legged goat named Trinity in California.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a good goat.
Well, I'm sure.
It's a good goat.
That goat knows it needs to be indispensable.
Indispensable.
So
Yep.
be kind, be nice, be a friendly goat. They'll keep you around. Limp a little bit, get some sympathy.
You know, it didn't
Right?
seem to bother Trinity too much.
No, I'm sure. Well, didn't bug Trinity the dog.
Didn't it?
No,
Nope.
3 legs. It was fine. You know, she was not good at idle speed. She was good at full throttle.
Yes.
So
that's fun.
moving
isn't it?
around slowly was hard for her, but she could go 40 miles an hour at full gallop. She caught birds.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like that's how
That's exciting.
people think, oh, poor three-legged dog. Like only when she's in the house, but outside she saw something.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. So go figure.
Yeah.
But anyways, I appreciate the three-legged goat
The
reference.
three-legged
in
goat.
the
Yes.
sermon. That was good.
Yes. Always nice to mention a three-legged goat when you
That's
have
right.
the chance.
I don't think I can top that. And I was at Synod Assembly because remember on Thursday we pre-recorded.
Yes. So we actually haven't debriefed that.
Not even
on the
that.
air.
No, right?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Wow.
So Synod Assembly. It was in Mesa, Arizona, at For the
Yes.
Love of Christ Lutheran Church, and
It's a great
it's a
facility
great
there.
building.
Yeah.
Yep. Saw Pastor Steve.
Yep.
Told him I still want his building. I coveted thy building, so I
Yeah.
broke the commandment. And saw a couple of colleagues,
Good group down there.
mostly.
Mostly a good group
Not
down
everybody,
there.
but mostly.
Arizona.
Yeah. I mean, it is interesting to note that because we're so far north and unto ourselves, we don't really get a chance to get to know most of our colleagues in the Phoenix area.
It's a very different.
We're on an island.
We are.
Yeah.
We are.
So,
Yes. Yes. We're just discussing with the tech guys before you came in. There are people who feel that we're more of a California vibe than a Arizona vibe.
well, I mean, if you think about it culturally speaking, we relate more to Southern California as a culture than we do to Phoenix. And that's
Whatever
not
Phoenix is.
That's not a whatever
Yeah.
that is. And it's not a judgment thing, but like you think about, where do most transplants come from in Las Vegas? Well, they come from Southern California. You know, when you want a quick out of town, you don't go, let's go to Phoenix. You might say, let's go up into the mountains of Utah, or hey, let's go to Disneyland. Let's go to
Let's
Southern
go to California.
Right? So
Yes.
so our
There's a bit more of a connection that way.
there's an alignment. I mean,
Yeah.
also think about it just from an infrastructure point of view. Which one has a 4-lane highway to it?
Ooh, yes.
There is not a direct 4-lane highway to Phoenix, but there is, obviously to Salt Lake City
Yeah, you kind of got to
and down to LA, right?
scramble your way down to,
That's exactly
to
right.
Phoenix.
So there's a lot of reasons that our orientation is more LA West Coast than it is we're in the desert Southwest.
But you tolerated the Arizona folks.
Being
Yes.
magnanimous as I am,
Yes.
I did the best I could.
You did the best you could.
You know,
That's
I-
all you can do. That's all you can do.
I did see, obviously, I saw our bishop, and matter of fact, as busy as our bishop is during a Synod Assembly, she made some time to come over and we chatted for a little
She
bit.
makes time. She's
Yep.
yeah, she is very busy. It's a pretty big synod that she
It
has
is,
to keep
geographically
track of
speaking, yeah.
all the different
Talked
pastors
to
and folks.
one of the assistants, Pastor Dave Pacevic.
Oh, yes.
How do you say his name?
I know who you're
Pacevic?
talking about.
Yes.
I read his name often enough.
Yes, I don't
but
say it out loud.
I don't
often
say
enough.
it often enough, but I'll let you pronounce
Yeah,
it.
but he's a good guy.
He's a
I
good
get
guy.
along with him, and we chatted for a little bit, and Also, Pastor Dan on Synod staff. I
Okay.
saw him for a moment. And then Pastor Dave tried to give me some paperwork to give to one of our colleagues here in town, no names mentioned. And I said, there's a good chance I won't see them again until the next Synod gathering, even though we live in the same town. I said, so you're better off mailing it
Just
than,
mail it.
than giving it to me, because don't see that person that often.
Just mail it.
Just mail it.
Just,
right.
I mean, that point,
Yeah.
I think, yes.
And saw the dean of our conference, who is the pastor at St. Andrews. Talked to her for a little bit.
Yep.
And then I sat at, because we're at big tables, right? You know, big.
Sure.
I sat at a table of people from Living Water in North Scottsdale, Arizona.
Living Water. Huh?
Yeah, so I believe that's their name.
Scottsdale.
So ended up meeting some new folks at from that church. Oh, and the other thing that to me the highlight was every year you usually have a representative from the mother church there in Chicago. Usually have a
Yes.
church-wide representative, not always, but most of the time. And we had with us a pastor by the name of Tim Brown. He doesn't live in Chicago, but he lives in Raleigh, but he is staff for Churchwide, but he is also their director of stewardship and for the whole, and his speaking on stewardship, and I know we think about money immediately, but stewardship of everything. He had some good stuff.
Oh, well,
So-
that's good.
So
Yeah, anybody who has some new insights or a new
Exactly.
perspective way of looking at it.
Yeah. And I
yeah.
told the bishop that I said, man, it's really good stuff. I said, but at the same time, I'm a pastor, and this is the kind of stuff I want to hear about, think about, turn around. I said, I can't speak for the layperson delegates who are in the room, but I said, but as a pastor, like, this is the kind of stuff, like, yeah, I need to hear more about this and keep thinking and
Oh, for sure.
generate that. But I ended up talking to Pastor Tim because he might help with a project that I'm working on a committee with the ELCA. As I told you, I'm back on a committee.
Back on committee.
Back on a national committee, and I'm like, this is the guy we need to talk to.
Yeah. So you had not met this guy
I
prior
had.
to this.
He had given a presentation a year ago at Synod or at Churchwide Council, and really appreciated what he was doing. Didn't have anything to do with this, but so I had heard him before. But when he started talking about this, I was like, oh man, we got to have a talk. So I went up and talked to him a little bit, and he did offer his help if we want him for this committee
Oh, fantastic.
that I'm doing. So yeah, that was that, and then I flew back and jump right into Sunday morning. So.
Right on.
It always feels weird to be out of town and jump right back into church, even if it's like, all day Friday, fly back Saturday, and you still feel like where have I been all week?
Well, especially because it went late enough that you weren't able to be there for Saturday night. And
yeah.
when you miss that, I mean, there are little things like it's.
Yeah.
I don't know. Worship starts.
You're
and
just
then
a little bit out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're just kind of out of routine and coming from
Yeah.
something that's.
I was telling
Quite a bit different.
I was telling Philip at 9:30. I was really glad that he gave a musical cue for something
Yes.
that I wasn't paying enough attention to my printout, that I needed that musical cue, and it wasn't even for me, it was for somebody else. But the minute I heard it, I'm like, oh yeah, there's this thing that's coming up next. I better not jump into my next thing. But that musical cue, and I'll tell you, it is so subtle that even if you go back and watch 9:30, you'd never catch it.
No, yeah.
But it was just enough for me. And so after service, I'm like, thanks for the musical cue. He's like, that was for the choir, not you. And I'm like, well, I needed it. So I appreciated that. And the other thing that happened right before I left on Thursday afternoon, I met with the new president and CEO of Faith Lutheran High School.
You did?
Junior high school. Yeah. He's new, and he is just getting his feet wet. And he came to us from a college in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and he's making the rounds, so he stopped by church, and it was an appointment, and got to spend about an hour with him and get to know him a little bit. 'Cause even though it is a Missouri Synod school, we have a seat on the board. We're a part of the Faith Lutheran Association. So we have at least some small footprint over there that we take seriously, and we're not going to cede any ground over there. You know, we planted our flag, and we'll advocate when we need to advocate when others don't want to advocate. So so he came over, and we had a nice time together, and he is a good person. So
Right.
yeah.
Okay.
So lots of stuff.
Lots of stuff.
Yeah.
How about
Yeah.
that?
And you know, other than that, you know, life keeps moving forward. You know, we got
Life does.
you know, we got Bible study tomorrow, and going to look at Jonah, and I'm hoping we can actually go through that entire story, because it's short, tomorrow, and it will be online, so that'll be good too. So yeah, so lots of good things,
I think that's fantastic.
right? How about you? Anything other than VBS World, or is that
VBS
just it?
World and goats with 3 legs.
Yeah.
That's kind of where I'm at right now.
Okay. Yeah.
But we're rolling along pretty well, and excited to see everything that's coming up.
Yeah. So we are 2 weeks out, right?
2 weeks out, and a week out from we've got a crew that is heading off to Leadership Lab
On Sunday. Yeah.
on Sunday. So
Which is
something
good.
you're pretty familiar with. You've
Yep.
been a part of that
Well.
in years past.
Yep.
Certainly.
From I think essentially 1985 all the way up to 2020 or so.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize it was that long.
Yeah. This is a very long time. So
Wow.
yeah,
Wow.
very long time. So a lot of history there. So
Well, fantastic.
yeah, how about that?
Yeah.
Learn something new every day, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a little warm in the sanctuary on Sunday, and so we had folks out looking at our air conditioning units in the sanctuary today. So hopefully they can diagnose, and whatever we need to tweak or repair, we can do that. So
I mean, they're being put through the test right now.
it did warm up a little too soon.
Yeah.
But at the same time, here's the difference: is today we're so on top of our maintenance that if we notice something, we're immediately on it.
Yeah.
And
things they're going to pop up.
yeah, they do.
The system's put through its paces.
Yep. So,
But-
but we're not going to ignore it or pretend hope it'll get better if it gets cooler. Like that doesn't solve any issues.
Right.
So we're on top of that as well, and we'll get it fixed as soon as we can. I mean, it's not miserable, but there was a time during the pandemic.
Yeah, I was going to say it's not as much as it was during the pandemic when
There wa-
everybody was home except
and
us.
Be thankful, because we had to just pretend it was air conditioned in there.
Yeah.
And do you remember that, Philip? That it was really warm in the sanctuary because there was some issues, and we just had to pretend like it was like a nice temperature in there. So we're nowhere near where we were then on a lot of the facilities, but we just noticed a little bit different. So we're like, okay, we got to get on this and get her going. So we're not gonna let anything to chance, right?
Oh
So,
my goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah, quite the experience there.
Yep.
But yes, we're doing better than that.
way better than that. And that's, 6 years down the road, and a lot of repairs and learning about the system later and on that. So, matter of fact, we had one of the guys who worked for that company was in church on Sunday and at worship with his father. And I said,
Yeah.
hey, I need you to send somebody out on Monday. So, nobody gets a break when they're around me.
No, nope. Time to come in.
Yep, need
Get
you.
to work.
He's like, okay. And I said, go see Dennis, and then he didn't. So I think he was afraid.
Well, there's a lot to be afraid of.
So all good, but all in all, you said this on Sunday. I'm like, things do not slow down in the summer. You know, there is no like time.
Yeah.
We're just on the move. So
Yes, we are.
yeah.
Yes, we are. And a lot of good summer stuff to come.
Yeah, and including, speaking of that, glad you said that. It just sparked, one of the things we're working on, and I know sometimes people ask, yes, we are working on KCLC radio as of last week and this week in our planning. So we got to lay all that groundwork out for starting in the second week of July. So we will finish off the next 3 chapters of Galatians, and then KCLC, our summer series for the last 5 or 6 years. So.
Yeah, I know it's people have come up to me and asked if
Yep.
we're going to start that series up too. So,
Yep.
It's a fun one.
It is. So we've picked some new songs, and man, I'm almost to the point now that next year I feel like we can not repeat, but we can go back and look at some of the songs we did, 6-7 years ago.
Well, we're going to have to. I mean, if we just to know, all right, we have done that at one point.
That's exactly right. So because there are some really good songs that you wouldn't reuse the sermon, but you can go and look at it in a new way.
It would still preach, huh?
Yep. One of my favorites. Well, there's a couple of favorites over the years. I really liked when we did Elton John's Border Song. That was also done by Aretha Franklin.
Yeah, that was one that I wasn't too as familiar with. Yeah.
Early 70s, and he's talking about equality. He's talking about how we treat one another, and it's a good song. And it is a little obscure, but it did hit the charts. But it's one of those you didn't think of, and like that, I loved when we did Long and Winding Road.
Oh yeah.
That's a great song. When Philip and Joan did Imagine, and that was during the pandemic. That might be
some of those pandemic songs.
I will
too,
tell
yeah.
you that version of Imagine is the best version of Imagine I have ever heard. Period. Philip and Joan. Psh, yep. Sorry, John Lennon, if you're listening from heaven. I apologize, but Joan and Philip killed it.
Did a great job.
I guess I shouldn't say killed it. So it's a bad use of words there. So rescue me, Brian. Don't just sit there and look at me.
I think you're doing great.
I think you're doing great.
Great
You're
job,
digging
Pastor.
your own hole
Great
there. I'll just let you
job,
go,
Pastor.
right? Yeah.
Yes.
How about
yes.
we just jump into the song of the day if we're going
We
to
could
transition,
do that.
right?
We could do that.
So this is one you've heard before. I wouldn't call it a classic, but it is a favorite at 11 o'clock. At least it is for me. And
It is.
And occasionally revisiting a song that lifts your spirits. Even when you know it, it actually makes you feel good. So this is one of those feel-good, faithful songs. So let's take a listen to Child of Love.
Now I'm gonna climb a mountain, I'm gonna shout about it. I am a child of love. Yes, I am. I found a world of freedom. I found a friend in Jesus. I am a child of love. Come on, Jess, tell me about it.
The sting of the fire, but I saw you in the flame. Just when I thought it was over, you broke me out of the grave.
Yes, you did now. I'm gonna climb a mountain. I'm gonna shout about it. I am a child of love.
can change the way you love me. Nothing can change the way I belong to you. Yes, I do. Nothing can separate. Nothing can change the way you love me. Nothing can change the way I belong to you. Yes, I do. Nothing can separate. I'm gonna climb a mountain.
Put your hands together, church. Come on.
I am a child of love.
Sing it with your whole chest. Come on.
I found a world of freedom. Hey, hey,
What are you?
hey. I am a child of love.
Come on.
I'm gonna climb a mountain. I'm gonna shout about it. I am a child of love. Yeah. I found a world of freedom. I found a friend in Jesus. I am a child of love. I say yeah, yeah. Oh, oh, oh. I am a child of love. I say yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. I am a child of love.
Amen. All right.
See, I'm ready for another 12 hours of work now.
That's great.
right?
I
You
mean,
just-
that is it right there. That's
yeah,
cool.
kind of get your, kind of energy up.
Yes, it is.
So,
No, it totally does.
like that
Yeah,
song.
yeah. Get the child of love.
And it's a good message for us, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, Child of Love, song from 2020, a group called We the Kingdom. And on the same album, not that you would know this, but we also do another song at the 11 o'clock service called Holy Water. Same album, same group.
Same album, same
Yep.
group.
And it's a family, not all family, but family-rooted band out of Nashville. And the lead singer, Franny Ray Cash, which is a very Nashville name, right?
Franny.
Franny Ray, you know.
Franny Way Cash. I mean,
Yeah.
the whole thing.
That
yeah.
is a Nashville name right there. She always thought about being a child of love more than using the term child of God. And a lot of us talk about being a child of God. But she always heard it as child of love, and she explained it. She's like, look, as I think about this song, she's like, yes, I'm a child of God, the Father, but never forget that God is love. So she jumps right to the end. Since God is love, I am a child of love.
I think that's, yeah, because you don't hear that, but I think that is something that can resonate with people
Yeah.
especially for people who, maybe perhaps are new to the church, new to the God, and
Yeah.
what does that mean? But God is love.
And especially if one comes with religious baggage, which a lot of folks have been hurt in ways to think of God is harsh, God is judging, God is, like the cosmic policeman watching over, and you step out of line and whack. And, if you come at it from a new place, a child of love, a child of grace, a child of a God who is kind and generous, then all of a sudden you go, oh, maybe I've been carrying some other church's religious baggage that actually isn't there, right?
Yeah.
And she even says, she said, this song for her was a breakthrough into a childlike place in her heart, reminding her that in Christ she is free from fear, intimidation, or what people think. And that has a lot of pull in one's life when you worry about what other people think.
It's amazing. I mean, there are things that we really can fear and really can intimidate us, and
Yeah.
and some of that we do need to draw lines with that too, and say I'm not going to let that control me either.
That's
but there
right.
are real things to fear, and all of that. That is
Yeah.
that is true. But how much of life is spent worrying about what other people think?
Yeah, a lot.
And we hold on to that. We
Yeah.
carry that, and we live with that day after day after day.
It'll wear
Wow.
you down. And
It wears you down.
And you will end up living in fear because you're always walking on eggshells. And that is not a great place to be. So, yeah. So great song. I love the song. I don't request it, but when it comes up, I'm like, oh, I'm glad we're doing
And
that.
it does show up often enough
Yeah.
that it is, it's one that you see that, oh, that's great.
And
Yeah,
I
it's
wouldn't be a
fun
bit
one.
surprised if we started doing this in 2021. Like, I remember if we go back a number of years before Ashley
was
with
pretty
us,
new.
yeah, we were doing that song. So,
I
yeah.
believe you're right.
Yep. So some of the themes in here, one of them is that identity piece, right? I am a child of love, and that is obviously a place in Scripture where we can hang our hats. Maybe not using that terminology, but even in one of the letters that John wrote to the church. So you remember you have John who writes the gospel. Same John has a revelation, a vision in which he conveys in what is known as the Apocalypse of John or Revelation.
The Revelation.
And but near the end of the Bible, if you look in the New Testament, there's a 1st, 2nd, and 3rd John, 3 short letters, right before you get to Jude. Nobody ever talks about Jude.
No.
Hey,
do you like
Hey Jude.
Hey Jude? We talk about Hey Jude
Yeah,
a little
right,
bit more
right,
than
exactly.
biblical Jude.
I know, poor Jude. Very short, but it's in there. It's in there. Kind of Titus also gets the short end of the stick too. So
Titus does get the short end
Yeah.
of the stick.
I mean,
I think Titus is a little bit more than Jude.
yeah. What about Philemon?
If you're a seminary student, I guess.
Is that just a requirement when you go to seminary? You have to do like an 8-week thing on Philemon,
I
along
think-
with the command to memorize Philemon. Did you get that one too?
We did not get a command to
we
memorize
had to
Philemon.
memorize Philemon.
But it was definitely one that you learn in seminary. You don't get too much into Jude in
Or
seminary.
Titus.
Or Titus.
Right. But Philemon.
But Philemon, if you go to seminary,
Yeah. I don't
it's
recommend.
no.
Do not recommend. Just telling you.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fine that I'm done with it, but if they said you got to go back, I might be done. Just feel like I'm out. It's like, no, we think we need you to try again. Nah.
Try again.
I'd be like, nah, I'm hanging it up,
yes.
right?
Go finish high school, and
But
then.
I don't even have a high school diploma. You
I know.
know
So
that.
finish high school and then do
go
it
back-
again.
Right, dude. I'd be like, nah, I'm done. I'm done. Just cut hair for a living.
Just cut hair.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that.
No, I've been cutting my own hair for 20 years. I probably
fantastic.
could help out other people. So, yeah. Once again, seminary, it's not an overwhelming thing to want to do, right?
So where were we?
I don't know.
John?
I'm feeling sad now. I was really happy thinking about Child of Love, and then you brought up seminary, and now I'm sad. So I'm lost.
So lost.
1 John chapter 3, verse 1, he says, see what great love the Father has lavished upon us, that we should be called children of God. And he says, and that is what we are. And so when John writes this, he is reminding us, God is gracious, God is loving, God is love, because if you go to 1 John chapter 4, that's the whole chapter is about God is love. And he's like, the Father has lavished great love on us, in that we are called children of God. And then he doesn't want us to miss it, like it's a throwaway line. And he's like, just stop there. He said, because that is what we are. Don't miss this, right? Mm-hmm. And so, yes, our identity should be really tied up in being a child of God, which in some ways, if you go back to Pastor Brian's sermon from Sunday and Saturday night, what did we hear in that reading is that all these other labels and identities need to be washed off of us in our baptism because they don't hold the same importance as being a child of God. And being baptized, you're baptized into the family of God, adopted, and so
Don't forget that.
yeah, those
And-
other labels.
Yeah, yeah, and I, for me, it helps to see Paul's energy that he's bringing to that letter, his prickly energy that he's
Right.
bringing, knowing that he's trying to convey this is what church is.
Yeah.
Don't forget what church is all about.
That's exactly right. And somebody was calling us out on using that word prickly on
They did. We get called out for a lot of things.
Yeah, I know. Some of it justified too. But I think that is about the best word I can use to describe St. Paul. I'm not being disparaging. I'm being honest. His
I mean, you just read the letters.
just read the letters.
Right?
Like it's self-evident.
You don't have to go to seminary.
No,
just
you
read
do
the
not.
letters.
Just read the letters, and you go, man, is it me or does he seem a little prickly? Yes, he does. So.
Yeah.
And but I also think, and I've said this before, that no one else had the temperament to go through what he did, starting churches, getting arrested, getting beat up,
Yeah.
it would take somebody of that prickliness to actually persevere through all that Paul did. So
I think it would.
so that's
Yeah.
why Jesus said to Ananias, he said, "See, Paul is my chosen instrument to go before the Gentiles and their kings," because he's like, this guy's tough as nails, and not everybody's gonna like him, but he's gonna get the job done. So, so there it is.
Very good.
So, child of God. But then we also know that as a child, and if you're a parent, even if you weren't, you know that most of us as parents would do just about anything to help their child if they were struggling, and not necessarily rescue them in the sense of letting them repeat bad behavior by rescuing them, but in a time of duress or trouble, you're there for your child. And we see that as being children of God. God's going to be there. There is his presence in our struggles. And in the song, it says, "I saw you in the flames," or "I felt the
Right.
sting of the fire, but I saw you in the flames." You were there too.
Yes, and that shows up in a couple
Couple
of
of
different
places,
places where
that's
we can
right.
see that. But one, a verse I like, Isaiah 43, verse 2, "When you pass through the waters, I will be with you, and when you pass through the rivers, they will not sweep over you, and when you walk through the fire, you will not be burned. The flames will not set you ablaze."
So that reminder that God's just going to show up, and clearly, if you had any time with us recently, you also think of Daniel's friends in the fire too, right? You got Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. They would not bend the knee to Nebuchadnezzar, and they're like, even if God doesn't save us, we're still not bowing a knee to you, and we're not going to worship your golden statue. And they said, "Look, God does have the power to save, but even if he doesn't, we're not doing this, right? We're not going to trade our allegiance to a human, to you." And Nebuchadnezzar threw him in a fire as punishment. But as he looked into that fire, what did he see? He saw not just those three guys, but the fourth.
Yes.
And the
One
description
in
is
the fire, who is with us?
yeah, right there in the presence of suffering. And it said he had the appearance of a son of man. And so the appearance of a divine being in there. So God's
Yeah.
with us in that suffering and in that struggle. And God will see us through. And honestly, nobody likes suffering, and nobody wants to go through tough times. And you don't say, "Well, I want to go through that so that I can experience God's presence." You don't want that. But the promise is that even when you do, God's going to walk with us.
Yep.
And so that is the reminder. So sometimes you got to stop in the midst of that struggle and to say, "Okay, God, where are you in all of this? Help me take the next step." Because it's easy to get kind of spiraled down into whatever's going wrong, and that's all you focus in on, right?
It's hard to see anything else.
Hard to see anything. And so sometimes in the middle of that, you got to stop and go, "Okay, God, where are you at in all of this?" And believe it or not, God just shows up, and you'll see it. And in these circumstances and moments, you go, "Wait a minute, God's a part of this too," right? So that is that promise for us too. So there's our identity as child of God, that because we are a child of God, God's going to show up when we're struggling, presence and suffering. But then also this last piece that you can't be too far from God's hands, that even when you feel lost, God's there with you. You're going to be found. And that whole idea of lost and found shows up. I mean, just when I thought it was over, you broke me out of the grave. When I thought I was lost, you show up, and I'm not lost. And you certainly see that in that last parable, in the three parables of Luke 15, the lost coin, the lost sheep, the lost son. And the one we know the most is the lost son, the prodigal son. And at the end of that, the father, who in a lot of ways is for us to see not just ourselves, hopefully in the graciousness, but also the attitude of God the Father in our lives.
Right.
And he says to the one son who didn't go anywhere, but is really bitter that his brother is home, Father says, "For this son of mine was dead and is alive again. He was lost, and now he is found." And so, yeah.
That's such a powerful passage, and
It
one
is.
that, certainly we keep coming back to over and over again. that it has such meaning.
It does, and it's not just a nice ancient parable, a nice old story. It illustrates a truth about God's presence in our lives today. And sometimes, and this is how it is, because like we were saying, sometimes you get spiraled in. You don't see how God was active until sometimes after the fact. That once you've been through it, and then you reflect on it, then you go, oh, I wasn't alone. You know, I wasn't by myself.
I think I love that, because there are, and sometimes we don't take time to reflect on
and
that.
that's the point.
And
yeah.
that's
yeah.
that becomes problematic then,
It does.
because we start to carry those burdens and we don't realize, you know, where God has been. But
That's right.
God has been with us.
Yeah, the whole time. And, you know, and at the end, I was just crazy connections that you make over the years. This is a story, I'll illustrate this, is, you know, we were talking about this summer camp called Leadership Lab. You know, I was not only a participant, but on staff for many years, and then coordinator and director and all this stuff. And one of my kids who was in Leadership Lab, I always refer to anybody in the thousands of kids that pass through there as my kids, right? And he's in his 30s now, so
Yeah,
he's
sure,
not a kid,
sure.
right? And I get a Facebook message from him just the other day, and he says to me, he's like, Pastor Ben, he said, my dad's in hospice, and I want to talk to him about matters of faith. And his father is a religious person, so it's not like, you know, accept Jesus before you die. It's nothing like
It's
that.
not like that.
But he's like,
but still, it's a kind of
big moment,
big
right?
moment.
And he's like, what should I say, and how should? And I'm like, think about this. Like, this person comes to me, and it was years ago that he was, you know, part of Leadership Lab, and yet there's this connection that is not severed, right? Just out of the blue, I get an email saying, can you help me think through this, because I know you would know what to do. I mean, you're putting his trust in me. And first of all, I said, I'm humbled that you would even, you know, think to talk to me. And then, of course, I gave him some things to talk about with his father that doesn't seem forced or over the top, but like, here's a couple of things. And so when you think about connection, it's not just this unbroken connection between God and you, but there's connection between others, and that's where the strength of living is in our connection with each other. So you know, out of the blue, you know, you get a message and you say, you know, can you help? And the answer is always yes. And you know, I left it at that and said, you know, when you need more, let me know. And but that's the part of being a Christian, that, you know, to be a child of love is to share it with others, and to share that comfort and consolation, and even in the hardest moments. And other times, you know, you're going to lean on somebody else too. So, yeah. So anyways, we're glad you joined us today. We hope that tomorrow night, if you're not doing anything, you can tune in about 6 p.m. on Pacific time. We're going to study the book of Jonah together, and you can listen in and be a part of that. And then we'll be back here with you on Thursday at 3 o'clock, our normal bat time and normal same bat channel. We'll be together. And but stay cool out there. If you're in Las Vegas Valley or anywhere in the Southwest, don't overdo it. Be drinking lots of water or iced tea, as the case may be.
There you go.
But we're just glad that you took some time with us today. So God bless you. We love you. Take care. And Philip, will you play us out?